What makes someone a craftsman? No matter how practical the activity, they do it with passion, care, and attention to detail. They take pride in the result and make good art of even the most ordinary. A craftsman puts their heart into their work. My name is Kai. I'm a passionate travel cinematographer from the Netherlands. I love combining my passion for the outdoors with traveling and filmmaking, and all of that is what inspires my work. Normally, I travel overseas. However, today I'm embarking on a trip closer to home than usual, together with Mazda as part of Mazda Discovers, a series of road trips around Europe and covering the stories, passions and expertise of craftsmen across varied disciplines. We are traveling from Amsterdam to London to meet Richard, who just like me has dedicated his life to his craft, and I'm keen to understand his world, his process and how he defines flow state as a part of his craft.
I'm Richard. We are Peter Freebury and Company. We've been boat building over 300 years as a family. We started off as fishermen, ferrymen and bargemen, then went on to build lovely, beautiful wooden boats, which we are now famous for today. I've been around boat building all my life, and from a very young age I can remember being 4 or 5 and painting bottoms of boats, sweeping up. I have lovely memories of building models of boats with my dad, and it was a clever way, I think, of him introducing me into not only the wood but also the tools. I think it's the freedom of working by hand, because when you're crafting by hand, you're expressing something of yourself into that object. Boat building is a craft. You're working with the very nature of the shape of a boat. It's very curvaceous. Often there's not many right angles meeting each other, so it's quite different. You're working with a very natural material which varies in its consistency. So you're having to adapt your skills depending on what wood you're working with. So during the build process, once the deck beams are all in place and the framework is there, it goes from quite a structural feel to a very intricate feel. Interwoven with that is the finishing, the varnishing, the painting. You need to keep the skills and the tradition and the feeling behind what we do alive. It's the end product then giving joy in its use. What's lovely in terms of the type and style of boat that we build is that we are very keen to incorporate modern technology. Modern technology, just as I imagine it is in Mazda's world, I feel in the car world, a very important aspect nowadays to be thinking of the future. I think it's a number of elements that come together to create something beautiful.
It was amazing to see Richard so one with his craft. Making boats and cars is completely different from my field of videography. And I guess that means that if you look for art and craftsmanship, it can be found everywhere around you. Stay tuned for the next episode of Mazda Discovers, where cinematographer Sjoerd Wes travels to Austria to learn about ski making.